Welcome to the Royal Road School of Carmelite Prayer. At the present time, we are studying an article entitled Learning to Pray, written by a prominent Teresian scholar, Father Tomas Alvarez. Today, he's going to talk to us about Teresa's method for teaching, and we're going to look at individual training. So Teresa requires certain predispositions in anyone setting out on this road of prayer. They must meet certain requirements before she will give them direction for the road ahead. The requirements concern one's life, which must be converted into prayer. The garden soil must be prepared so that when watering it, it brings forth flowers or virtues and not weeds. In the Way of Perfection, her classic manual of prayer, written for her nuns, these requirements are expressed as follows. The first is a general one, to aim at having the church as an ideal, to serve, and as a reason for living. This is to avoid the trap of living as if only God and oneself existed. For such people, spiritual narcissism and false eschatology are real dangers. The second concerns sustenance for the journey, practical virtues that keep one's feet on the ground, such as brotherly love, detachment from material things, humility to walk in truth. Her final and most important insistent requirement is a resolute determination. Teresa sees it as the key component of the whole operation. You could think that resolute determination is just another virtue to be added to the three just mentioned, but she is really talking about a fundamental firmness of purpose in life, which typifies a conversion experience like the one she had. Teresa knew that a life of prayer pursued to perfection requires more courage than the suffering of a quick martyrdom. She knew, too, that one can even encounter attacks from those in the church who reject a Christian life expressed in terms of prayer. Teresa gives her basic requirement a military tone. From the outset, she prefers military images. The bravery of a warrior is required, she says. Her readers were women, but she wanted them to be courageous. I would not want you, my daughters, to be womanish in anything, but rather like strong men. The sisters were to fight vigorously to the death. Teresa devotes 2 chapters, 21 and 23, to spell out the kind of determination she has in mind and its importance for the road ahead. Speaking to those who set out in search of the water of life, she said, I say that it is very important, in fact, all important indeed, that they have a great and very resolute determination to persevere until they come to it, whether they arrive or die on the road, and even if the whole world collapses. In the 2nd chapter, she is still insisting on the same thing, but this little bit of time we resolve to give him, let us be wholly determined never to take it back from him. I should consider the time of prayer as not belonging to me. These 2 texts, which have parallels in her life, chapters 9 and 11, are enough to show what Teresa thought. Determination is not a conversion to practice a few virtues. It's conversion to the person of Christ, a definitive binding. Amen. So this This talk that Father's giving now, the individual training followed by the group training, is quite extensive, so I felt it best to break it up, and so we will pick up again under the individual training, and I hope that this is beneficial for you. So thank you so much for following along. Amen.